What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be my review for Chasing Atlanta season 3, episode 3. So I told you guys I'm trying to get caught up. They were on episode 5, and it looks like episode 5 was pretty juicy. I need to hurry up and get caught up. But episode 3 was basically, it was about 80% Cameron's party, and I kept calling him CJ's Boutique because that is his Instagram name, but it is Cameron. But let's rewind to the beginning a little bit. So we picked this episode up, I pretty much believe we picked this episode up with Oliver Twix, who I like Oliver. So far so good. I like Oliver. Oliver Twix meeting up with Jaylon. And he basically was like, first of all, I need to find out why the hell you sent me to this listening party and then you ain't even show up. And second of all, how you gonna send me to this release party and you don't even know who this person is? So, Jaylon, he's so extra. All right, we're going to get there. So, they meet up at breakfast, and and basically, Jaylon was like, well, how was it? And, Oliver was like, look, I like Kendra. I don't think that the whole atmosphere, the whole party itself was a great look for her. It wasn't. And basically, at the bottom line, it just wasn't a very professional look. Like, it wasn't a professional looking listening party. It was more like, I'm gonna invite some friends to come over and listen to my new song. But they called it a listening party, so you would expect it a certain level. And that's what I think Oliver was waiting for. And that it just wasn't there. And y'all know Jaylon. You give Jaylon a little bit, it's gonna be this. So Jaylon was like, oh my gosh, it was just ghetto. It sounded like it was ghetto. Just ghetto. And I was like, it sounded unprofessional. It sounded not like a great look. But I didn't hear ghetto. But maybe it was me. Maybe it was me. So then they got to talking about Jaylon is doing music. He's in the studio now. And of course, Oliver was like, everybody want to be a musician. Everybody want to be in the studio making music. He was like, I thought Jaylon did hair. Now all of a sudden Jaylon is a musician. But he played the song for him. I mean, it's one of those songs that you can only play in certain places. Like, it's not, because it was like, come fuck me, I think was like the first lyric. Where you playing that at? So, but it sounded decent. I mean, it sounded like come fuck me music. You know what I'm saying? You know. But I ain't mad at Jaylon. If you got a little bit of a voice and you had an opportunity, jump on it, boo. Do what you do. So, then they talked about Cameron's party. And Jaylon was like, all right, I guess I'm going to go. Everybody keep asking me about it. But, me and me and Cameron got some stuff we need to talk about. We need to clear the air first. And they went back to the reunion last year with Jaylon. I had forgotten. So much other stuff happened at that reunion. I really had forgotten about Jaylon and Cameron kind of having a moment. But basically, the moment was because, Jaylon tries to act like he is so far above everybody else and everybody is just beneath him. And Cameron was like, don't act like we weren't friends. Don't act like we weren't cool. Don't act like we didn't hang out. Don't act like you didn't text me and I texted you. Like, don't get here and try to shade me and make me look stupid and make me look like I'm a groupie or some shit, or I'm hanging on to you and it wasn't a mutual friendship. And I really think that's where Cameron was coming from, was like, don't pretend like this wasn't a mutual situation between the two of us. Don't try to act like this was all on you. And I mean, this was all me like begging to be your friend or begging to hang out with you, because that's not how the shit was. And I can see where he's coming from, and I can see why he would be angry or upset by it. Like, don't play them games. So, what else went down at the breakfast? What else did they talk about at the breakfast? I think that might be kind of it. But Oliver let him know, like, don't be inviting me places, and one, you ain't gonna show up, and two, he was like, how you inviting me to something you don't even know who this person is? So then we have a scene with Gardini getting out of jail, him and Oliver talking, and Gardini basically telling the story that, how he got violated and everything. And basically he had to accept, again, I don't understand our justice system, so I can't say I understand how it all went down. But at the end of the day, in order for him to just be done with this whole situation, he had to just go ahead and plead guilty to the charges that he had, which were felony charges. So now he's a convicted felon. And he was like, well, shit, I ain't never worked for nobody before, so why I got to work for him now, you know. Because, you know, as a felon, it's hard to, you know, get a job as a felon. Not impossible, but it is hard. He was talking about the situation. He said Jaylon, he knows that Jaylon was the one that violated him. And he was like, you know, basically it's on and popping now. Like, if you thought I was an asshole to you before, if you thought I was a bully before, if you thought I was giving you a hard time before, you ain't seen shit yet. And he did buy Jaylon's LLC. So he basically does control the name that Jaylon is running his company over, or at least at that time was running his company under. And he was like, so, you know, basically you work for me, so keep playing with me. So we'll wait and see what else Gardini got up his sleeve, honey, because I'm sure it's some shit he got going on. So then we get to Cameron's party. So let me just go down the line. The party started off slow, picked up after that. Y'all know how black folk do. If the party start at 7, you know ain't nobody gonna get there till 9 o'clock. The only people that's gonna be there at 7 are your ride or die friends that's there to help you set up. The 8 o'clock people are going to be the people who maybe, you know, new to the crew, you know, and they just showing up because they want to make sure they get in where they fit in kind of thing. They, you know, want to try to meet some folk at the beginning. But your diehards, your party folk, ain't nobody getting to no party early, and ain't nobody getting there on time, okay? When me and my family get together, the only people that's showing up on time are the old heads because they going to leave early. You know what I'm saying? If my cousin having a cookout and she say show up at 3, only people there at 3 is my aunts, my mama and daddy. But my grandmother was still here. My grandmother, that's who was there at 3 o'clock. Because they was leaving by 7. Party wasn't over till 2. Feel what I'm saying? So anyway, but it looked like it was a nice party. And again, yes, it was at a house. And of course, y'all know Jaylon was talking shit from the word go. I mean, I drove up and down the street 3 or 4 times looking for a mansion. I knew it wasn't going to be no mansion. I mean, this is just, I mean, like a little tent. You know, this is nothing. Bitch, stop being so extra all the time. Like, whatever. Excuse me. Kendra gets there, and when she walks in the door and she sees Oliver, she's automatically got an attitude. And she decides to, I guess, approach Oliver about how she felt like he acted at her listening party. And to Oliver's credit, he was like, look, let's talk. And he was trying to tell her, he was like, look, I like you. But the event itself, I didn't feel welcome. I didn't really feel like, and he was trying to be really nice about giving her a little bit of constructive criticism. Now, I can see both sides of this coin. One, y'all don't know each other. Like, I could take constructive criticism from somebody I know, but I don't know you. And you trying to, you know, come at me and give me this constructive criticism about how I should run my business. And she was standing there with her manager, and I'm sure her manager felt some kind of way, like, who this dude coming along telling me how I run my, you know, how my client is running her business. Like, no. But on the other side, I don't think Oliver was rude about it. I don't think he was disrespectful about it. I think he was very polite and letting you know how he felt. And if he felt that way, maybe there were other people in the room who felt that way. And you might have should have taken that into consideration. But instead, Kendra automatically got offended and took it as he was coming for her. And I don't feel like that's how he was doing it. And I don't feel like he was disrespectful in how he said it. Now, again, editing can be a motherfucker. So maybe it was some stuff we didn't see. And that's fine. I'm willing to accept that. But for what I saw, I did not feel like it was a problem. Now, what I did have a problem with is that this damn argument lasted for 5,000 years. This is an example of editing. That was too much. Because they weren't saying nothing. I mean, at a certain point, Oliver was just like, why the hell are we still talking about this? Like, what are we even talking about? And then they tried to bring in the R&B group. We Are Born. I kept calling them R&B group last time because I couldn't remember their name. We Were Born. WWB. We Were Born. Who I actually like. I liked the two of them. They was throwing a little bit of shade, but I liked the two of them. Now, I don't know if they're blood brother and sister, but they call themselves brother and sister. Now, the sister was actually trying to talk to Kendra. She's transgender as well. And she was trying to talk to Kendra from a point of view of, look, I know what it's like in this business as a transgender, person in this business. I understand, woman in this business. I understand what it is that you are going through. I understand how, you could be defensive. I understand how you could get upset. She was like, but at the end of the day, let it go. Like, let's just be here. We having a good time. Like, it's not that serious. Like, let's move on. And Kendra just would not let go of it. You don't understand. And this, and this, that. Then they go upstairs into one of the bedrooms and they keep arguing. And I was just like, why are we still arguing about this? Like, what's really good? Like, at the end of the day, y'all don't know each other. He came to an event. He didn't enjoy himself. He didn't talk shit about you. He actually said, I like you and I like the song. He was just trying to give you a little bit of words of wisdom because it sounds like he has a little experience. That's just my 2 cents. Then they got him pissed off, and he sort of in his confessional was just like, I'm trying to let her know what's up because I know what they think about us in this industry. I know what they think about gay men, women in this industry, and I'm just trying to help you out. And I believe that is where he was coming from. I really do. I don't think it was shade. I really don't. But again, so there's that. Montel came through, good to see you, but Montel came through and came back and went back out, honey. We didn't see a whole lot of him, but it looked like you could see the pictures from that night and the video from that night, and Montel definitely looked like he was having himself a good little time. I like Montel, and it seems like Montel is really not for the shit this season, so I'm with him on that. Jaylon came through and said him and Cameron need to have a talk, and Cameron was like, really? Like, you show up at my party, you late, you coming in here already throwing shade, and now it's like we need to talk. And they go into a room and they're talking, and Cameron was kind of basically the same thing he said at the reunion, was like, stop acting, it just really bothered me and upset me that you were acting like we weren't cool and acting like we weren't friends or whatever. He was like, regardless of who called who, we hung out, we spent time together, we were friends outside of this show, and it bothered me that you were trying to act like it wasn't like that. Then they got to talking about the situation with Q, and Cameron was like, I don't need your money. Stop acting like I was a charity case or something and you did something for me. He was like, my family has money. If I was that down and out, I was good. My family was going to make sure that I could eat. He was like, even when I wasn't working, I was working. And y'all know what he mean by that. And, he was like, so for him to just get on there and act like he took care of me or something, he was like, that, I had a problem with that. Like I was somebody's charity case. He was like, I ain't nobody's damn charity case. And I said, okay. So, I don't know if they resolved anything or not, but they had their little talk, and then they went back down to the party or whatever. I guess they did resolve it. I feel like they walked away laughing, and, Cameron was telling Jaylon he gonna have to twerk before he leave, and, So, I feel like they did kind of come to some sort of resolution with that situation. What else went down? I think that was pretty much how the whole thing went down, y'all. I don't think we had a whole lot more to this. Like I said, the Kendra argument with Oliver lasted, that had to be about a good 15 minutes. It was a lot. And again, at a certain point, I don't think either one of them knew what they was talking about anymore. Because, Kendra, your point is valid, that you feel like, you feel attacked and this, that, and the other. But I just don't feel like that's how Oliver was coming at you. I don't. I mean, if y'all disagree, put it in the comments. Maybe it's something I didn't see. And then her manager, who, when we saw her in the studio, her manager didn't come off the way he came off at that party. Maybe he was drunk at the party. Maybe he was a little, I don't know. But he came off very unprofessional at the party. Whereas in the studio, I felt like he, it just didn't come off the same way. I didn't get that same vibe. I didn't even know it was the same person until they said it. So it'll be interesting to see how this situation plays itself out. I'm going to go ahead and try to catch episode 4 tomorrow. I'm going to catch up before the weekend is over. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.